welcome to another adventure with the JAK of All. Okay, so today back out for another walk before I've got to go back to work, and today we are in the Ribblehead Valley, I think Ribblehead Valley, the Ribblehead Viaduct there in the distance. Hooked on All Trail, found a route, so I think it's the Ribblehead Circular, and we're going to follow that today. So let's see how we get on. Little windy, bit rainy. Nah, that ain't gonna stop us, is it? So here we go then, and you know what? I was proper looking forward to this. I've wanted to do this route, or a route around this place, for a long time, and I finally got the chance, and I brought Annie along with me too. Clearly all those hills and the peaks didn't put her off too much. And there it is, the Ribblehead Viaduct. It was some feat of engineering back in the day, but we'll get on to the history lesson later. As I mentioned earlier, we found the Ribblehead Circular on All Trail. Just type in the area you wish to visit and it will bring up the routes that it has logged in that area. This particular route was marked down as moderate. The trails were dead easy to follow and all markers and signposts easily visible. We did deviate from All Trail slightly to take a look at this railway signalling box and this abandoned building with a perfectly good transit van in the back garden. Looks a bit like the Dingle's house now. This here is the Northern Line between Settle and Carlisle. I can only imagine that it's a pretty scenic journey with some incredible views. Under the railway line and we were back on track. As you can see here, in some places it can be a bit difficult underfoot, but it's nothing major. After weeks, maybe months of no rain, these intermittent showers were quite welcomed. Although I did get a little bit wet, I soon dried off. The trail runs through a few of these small farming settlements, some derelict and some occupied, so just be aware of any moving vehicles and any free roaming livestock, so best to keep your dogs on a lead. Whoa. Alright, cowhead. Another quick shower and Annie's there making herself look like Kenny from South Park. And as I mentioned, here's one of these farming settlements that the trail goes right through. And here's some of their sheep. As I mentioned earlier, the routes are clearly marked. We are roughly halfway around this route. It is about 8 kilometres, so you're talking 5 odd miles, something like that. It says on All Trail that it's a moderate route. I would say yeah, it's a moderate route. There's a bit of rough underfoot, but it's all pathway. Goes through a few sort of like farm buildings and farm settlements, and you meet a few sheep along the way, but other than that, nothing dramatic. There is plenty, I don't know if you can see right up there, there is some guys right at the top of there. I need a bit of that at some point, but I've not really been round here before, so not done much in the Dales, which is a bit disappointing, but yes, we'll definitely get some more going on. This trail led up to this place, what we found out to be a bunkhouse, accommodation for larger groups of people such as school trips, organised walks and even stag and hen parties. On a weekend it can be rented out for individual use and they hold numerous workshops here. Great spot with a spectacular view and something to entertain the kids. back on the trail and you soon meet up with part of the route from the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge. This is a challenge that I'm pretty eager to do in the near future, so if anybody fancies joining me, give me a shout. We soon met up with this tarmac track. This track is for residential access to the farms and also the bunkhouse, so you may meet an occasional bit of traffic along here. The trail then leads you to this section, which I wasn't expecting if I'm honest. It was pretty overgrown and we had to fight our way through the overgrowth. And with it being slightly wet, the rocky surface underneath got pretty slippery at times. I was just waiting for Annie to deck it again. Camera was poised and ready, but we had no such luck this time. The overgrown pathway only lasts for maybe a couple of 100 metres, so you're soon out at the other end and back onto the open pathway. At this point we decided to stop for a quick break, get some water on board and have a bite to eat. Once we were replenished, we were on to the home straight, as I would see it, the last couple of miles. Again meeting up with the tarmac and up past this house here, which is actually called the Gunner's Lodge and is available to rent throughout the year. Even up here it is plain to see the lack of rain they've had. In places a pretty dry riverbed. Crossing this bridge on the trail takes you through this farm that is diversified in the likes of accommodation. Gunner's Lodge found on Sky Holiday Cottages and on Airbnb the Three Peaks Pods. These are large luxury glamping pods. These accommodation are no more than a mile's walk from the Station Inn at Ribblehead. Anyway, let's talk history. Ribblehead Viaduct was built between 1869 and 1874 by thousands of workers called navvies. Over the course of its construction, over 100 workers died from either work-related accidents or illness. No hard hats or safety boots worn in those days. The workers, all of which were men, lived at the base of the structure in little set-up shanty towns. Now in the modern day it is a Grade 2 listed site, owned and maintained by Network Rail. The viaduct has also been in a BBC drama series called Jericho, based on a community of people, their personal lives and the coming together to build the viaduct. As you can see here, there are spots of history lessons along the route that commemorate the men that built the viaduct. So, to whoever thinks that it's acceptable to leave your dog poo in a bag, you know, I'd rather, if I'm honest, I'd rather dog poo and then left at the side of the path, do you know what I mean? Because at least it's going to disintegrate. But in a bag, you just, how long's that plastic bag? Oh man, there's another one. Just, unfortunately, this is what is wrong with society these days. You come to a beautiful place like this, the moors, and they just disrespect it. Yeah, it's not on that. So, not that you probably will be, but if you are watching, take it on. So, there we go. Route just worked out over just over 10k, so a bit longer than Hull Trail, although we did go and look at the signal box, the railway. But now go off to find some food. So We're just leaving the parking spot for Ribblehead Viaduct. You can see it in the distance. There is zero signal here, so we've come in sort of via the A1 near Thirsk and things like that, and then across. But now I think we're going towards sort of Bradford, that way on Rochdale, and hopefully find us somewhere nice to eat. This here is the station inn that I previously mentioned. We could have gone there, but I just fancied going a bit further afield and exploring a bit more. Once we'd picked up the main road and a few signposts, we decided to head to Skipton. Skipton is roughly a half an hour drive from Ribblehead Viaduct in the general direction of home. Skipton is an idyllic little town full of stone buildings, attracting many visitors throughout the year, and also has a canal running through it. And we know how excited I get about a canal boat. Canal boat adventure pending, Rosie and Jim, eat your heart out. Canal boat trips are available and also private hire. Canal boating through the Yorkshire Dales. What's not to love? So seeking some proper pub grub, we found this place, the Cock and Bottle. And you know what? I couldn't fault this place. A top tier pint of the black stuff. Split the G, good effort sunshine, not quite though. Some lovely wholesome pub grub, whoa, look at that. And all round some brilliant service. Get yourselves to the Cock and Bottle in Skipton. So to walk us meals off, we decided to go and have a little wander around the canal and around Skipton itself before heading home. I find these kind of old buildings just simply fascinating. And little hidden away cubbyholes like these stairs. Had to go up them. It just makes me wonder, what were these used for once upon a time? Apart from simply walking up or down them, of course. Along this route leads you up to Skipton Castle, which is a little difficult to see, to be honest. However, I imagine there's another way to see the castle. And most people are fascinated by a waterfall. We did a bit of a loop round Skipton, and then we got back to the caddy and on the journey home. But I'd absolutely recommend visiting Skipton at some point. And that is another day of adventuring done. Ribblehead Viaduct and Skipton. Place I've never been before, and I will go back. There's loads of different routes around Ribblehead Viaduct that I need to go and conquer. Skipton, lovely place, and I'll need to go and hire a boat there, definitely. So the next few weeks I am working, but you might not see me for a week or two, so please don't worry, I'm coming back. Hopefully I'll get some great footage of what we're doing over there, going numerous different places around the country. As always guys, thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember, as always, to like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the bell. You know the drill. And we shall see you at the next adventure. Ta-da!